Hello everybody, I hope you're all doing well, and in today's video, I will be doing my best to beat Elden Ring at level 1. That's right, the only rule is I can't level up. Anything else is fair game. As I'm sure you can see, I started with Wretch, because any other character starts above level 1, and I don't want this to be over before it even starts. And with that, I made my way up to Limgrave, and started this playthrough the same you would any other, by being insulted.
Unfortunately for you, however, you are maidenless.
With that out of the way, I set off to start collecting all the things I would need for this playthrough. After picking up a few things, I thought I was ready to take on Market. I was wrong. I wasn't quite ready. The first attempt wasn't bad, but it definitely wasn't quite enough.
These foolish ambitions to rest.
Yeah, I just gave up. I decided to go pick up a few things and thought I could maybe beat up somebody a little bit easier. But man, was I wrong. This guy might be tougher than Margit himself. After picking up one more crucial item, I decided to make my way back over to Margit and give it another shot. I definitely have to say, the strength tier is an absolute lifesaver, and that stays true throughout the entire run, not just for the early game. After taking down Margit, I decided it was time for a better weapon. So I decided to head over and get iron balls, as they would be pretty much essential to the early part of this run, at least until I could get their spiky counterpart. With my brand new weapon and shiny mask equipped, it was time to head over to fight Godric. And although this wasn't my first attempt, I think it was like my third or fourth. It really wasn't too bad of a fight. I will be the first to admit that I just got lucky here. I had no right surviving this, but I did, and that's all that matters. Godric down, I decided to make my way over to Raya Lucaria. I was doing this instead of Radahn because, well, honestly, Renala is just easy. Radahn is much more difficult, and I didn't feel like dealing with that, honestly. Before I could get to Renala, however, I had to get through her guard dog. And he's not that difficult, but he does move around a lot, and for a weapon with limited range, like iron balls, it's not a very good matchup. Plus, I'm just not very good at this fight. I don't know why, I'm just never have been. As you can see though, the damage is more than okay. It's really good actually, especially for level 1, so like I said, the fight wasn't too bad. With the guard dog down, it was time to go beat up some students before I could fight the actual boss. This phase 1 wasn't bad, it's just slow, and especially since I had the 3 cycle, it took a little bit. Phase 2 also wasn't bad. It's actually a much more enjoyable part, I believe. It's not just run around and punch the floor while you try to wait and not get hit. At least this one you can actually fight, it feels like. The spells can be a pain and so can the summons, but it's a good trade-off. Dragon was being a giant pain, by the way. It did its job perfectly, but it was really annoying. It just kept protecting her. So after Renala was down, it was time to head into the Altus Plateau, pick up a few upgrade materials, and then eventually make my way over to DTS. This fight was a little bit difficult, and I had to come back to it a couple of times just because of the one-shot attacks. I kept getting hit and dying. But I actually, in this attempt, as you can see, end up doing a no-hit, which is my very first no-hit on any boss. With DTS down, it was time to show off my absolute skills. And yes, I know this is a little bit awkward. I showed this entire clip to prove that it was first try. I just kind of forgot how you were supposed to do it, so don't worry about that part. But yeah, check that out. First try. Yes, I understand. It's really not all that impressive, but it felt cool, so you got to see it. Before I made my way up to Gold Free, I decided to go pick up a few more items, even though I wouldn't use them just yet. I may have just lied about not using the new item pickups because as you can see I am using Ritual Shield Talisman and it is another lifesaver because any of those attacks that would have one-shot me don't anymore, and that is huge. It was about this time that I decided making the switch over to Starfist would be worth it. It's pretty much the exact same weapon, it just does bleed, which, I'll be honest, almost never procced because I had 0 arcane. But in theory it's better, so I decided to switch. So after that absolute embarrassment of an attempt, yeah, I really don't know what happened there, okay, so don't even bother asking. I decided to give it another few attempts, and without too many tries, I was able to take him down. I'm just gonna let you watch the whole fight, but I do want to point out that they did this man absolutely dirty in the health department. Like, at level 1, he still takes a ton of damage. It's kind of sad, and they should really have done it better. So with Morgoth down, I picked up one final item before making my way up to Fire Giant. This fight, again, was not all that difficult. Fire Giant's just honestly a pretty boring boss fight. He looks super cool, and he was pretty cool the first few playthroughs, but after a while, the fight just kind of becomes boring. You can actually see that pretty well here in this last attempt. I only showed you the final little bit of health that he had, and it still takes way longer than it should. With this last 30 seconds or so while I run around and chase Fire Giant, I wanted to take this time to thank you guys for watching and ask that you like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Hopefully, I'll see you in the next one. Part 2 should be up sometime soon.